Hi, I'm Todd with Whole Latte Love. We have Mark behind the camera.
How you doing, Todd? What
Good.
do we got?
Good. We have two Profitec machines, the Profitec Pro 700 and the Profitec Pro 500. When you're looking at them, you see they look pretty similar, and you think they're kind of close, but they're actually very different. This is the Profitec Pro 500. This is a standard heat exchanger style machine with a vibration pump and a water reservoir. Very good machine, but as compared to the Pro 700, they're totally different. The Pro 700 over here is a dual boiler machine. It has one boiler for brewing, one boiler for steaming. And both these boilers are controlled through a PID controller by Jacquard, which is a very high-end brand. And as you look at the display here, you see it scrolling between the 254, which is the steam boiler temperature, and the 199, which is the brew boiler temperature. These are designed so that if you want to actually brew at a different temperature, you can raise your brew temperature, and so you brew at a higher or lower temperature. And you can actually taste the difference in the coffee when you make these changes. That's the purpose of this machine. So you can really fine-tune it to your liking and get the best out of the coffee that you have. Now with this machine, you can either run a water line to it, or you can use the reservoir. The reservoir is located up top here, so it's very easy, just pour right in. If you want to use a water line, that hooks up underneath, and you have a hose like this that you fasten to the bottom of the machine, and then you run this over to whatever you have. We highly recommend that you use a water filtration system. And let me just grab one real quick, show you what we're looking at.
And all the water line connections come with the machine. It's not something you have to purchase extra.
You might want to look at the BWT Best Max right here. Excellent, Best Max S, excellent water filter. Then you don't have to worry about descaling it, and down the line it'll last a lot longer, a lot less hassle. Okay, when you look at the machines, they both have these square steam valves. I guess the aesthetics, it's more up to you whether you like what you don't like. I love this.
Kind of matches the whole look of the machine, square valves. And they're nice valves too, right?
Yeah, they're actually, somewhere down the line, if you have to work on them, they're actually very easy to take apart and replace the valve seats on them. And they're what they call a sprung valve, so you can't over tighten them. Housing-wise, might as well take a look at that. Mark, why don't you give a good view of that?
Lots
Very
of fine,
finely made. Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of work on this. The way they're bent takes a lot of craftsmanship to make these.
And it falls right down to all the work on the drip tray. And
sure. Then if you look at the Pro 500, still a highly polished stainless steel, but you notice it's a lot more basic.
Yeah.
Is that a word? More basic? Is that what we say?
Yeah,
Okay,
more
good.
basicer. How about that?
Okay.
But it's kind of got those wrapped edges in some spots. Yeah,
Much easier to make this, therefore you save some money.
Right.
On the Pro 700, you also have this little tray here, which is nice. When you put your espresso cups on, it shortens the distance here. You don't want to drop your crema too far, it breaks it up. We both have brew pressure and steam pressure gauges right up front here, and same down here. Oh, one thing I didn't mention before, which is really important, is that the Pro 700 has a rotary pump. So I don't know if you can hear this, but we'll turn it on. A nice hum. And that's a full commercial rotary pump. So it has a commercial motor and a commercial pump.
We're going to look at those together in just a minute, actually the insides.
And this one here has a vibration pump. A little bit louder, can you hear that?
Yeah, a little buzz to that.
But still, out of all the vibration pump machines, I say this is about the quietest. Other little things about the machine here, the drip tray comes out like this, a little metal slides on here. Now down the side you have two switches. The switch here you use to switch between the water line connection and the reservoir connection. So if you switch it there, what that does, it actually disables the water sensor in the reservoir. And then if you actually want to use a water line, you have to turn a valve on the bottom. So there's no solenoid valves or anything else to do it. So it's very simple design.
Some machines use the solenoid valves, which is
correct.
Yeah.
Which is fine too, but this is simple. And over here you can turn off the steam boiler if you choose to.
So if you're just doing espresso, you don't
Exactly.
really need to have the steam on.
Correct, because there's no heat exchanger and steam boiler to preheat the water, so you're good to go.
Right. Of course, both have the E61 groups, pretty standard at this level.
Correct. And for those that aren't aware, make it real quick.
Yeah.
When you want to brew, you raise the lever up, opens the valve, hits a little end switch behind there that turns the pump on, and you lower it down, turns off the pump, and releases any excess water pressure down into the drip tray. Okay, inside the machine, we'll just take a look inside here. Here's the Pro 700. 2 boilers, 0.75 liter stainless steel boiler for brew, 2 liter stainless steel boiler for the steaming. Here's your pump. It's an RPM motor, a Fluidotech pump.
Those are like commercial grade components.
Yep. And here's just your, you notice there's no Teflon tubing in here.
Yeah.
It's all either braid or stainless steel or copper if it has any pressure at all on it. If it's no pressure, you may have some of the soft rubber tubing so they can run around.
Right.
And over here is your Profitec Pro 500. Again, 2 liter stainless steel boiler. And this doesn't have the PID control, so it has a pressure stat. This is a Sarai pressure stat, very high quality pressure stat. It's a commercial pressure stat.
And that's what really controls the temperature, right? In
Correct.
The boiler?
Yeah, it senses the pressure in the boiler and just turns on to regulate that.
Yeah.
And if you do want to control the brew or change the brew pressure, you got to take the housing off, and there's that screw there. You turn that clockwise to raise the pressure, counterclockwise to lower the pressure. And again, this has no Teflon tube in it. To see there's some braided stainless, which I actually use that when it comes off the pump to lower vibration. That's maybe one reason why it's very quiet.
Nice quiet one. Yeah.
On the side here, it's Pro 700, your JICAR controls, 2 static relays. Now you notice the frames on these, the way these are made. It's pretty much the solid all the way through, and they weld this in here. Makes it very strong. So it's a shippable machine.
Ships well.
Yeah, ships well.
Yeah, and one thing I just saw is just like on the on the drip tray where it slides there, that little extra thing there so things don't get scuffed up and.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And for some crazy reason you wanted to, you could actually turn the brew boiler off and just use just the steam boiler for steaming. Don't know why you want to do that unless you're making hot chocolate for the kids and never want to brew coffee again, but
you can.
You can. Accessories. Comes with a double shot portafilter and a single shot portafilter. Or spouts, I should say.
Yeah.
And to hook up the water line, or excuse me, the drain line. This bolts into here.
Comes with that, right?
Yep. Then hook up your drain line right up to that.
And you can turn that.
You can turn it that way or that way.
Depending on which way you got to run your drain.
It comes with a back flush disc and a
Group brush there?
group brush and a nice little plastic tamper that you'll probably replace very quickly.
Right.
Get a 58 millimeter if you do replace that.
Yep.
Hot water wands and steam wands are all no burn. So you can crank them up and
Grab holes.
not hurting.
Yep.
It's all good. Both have that. 4-hole steam tips, and they have very good pressure.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe what we'll do now is we'll do some brewing and steaming on them so you can see them in action, see the steam pressure, and listen to the pumps while they're brewing and get a really good feel for how the machine works.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do that.
Okay, so we're ready to do some brewing and steaming on the Profitecs here.
Yeah, we'll start with the 500. Do a little bit of a flush on that.
It's a heat exchanger.
Heat exchange, yep. Didn't take long to get the steam out of there. Just for the fun of it, I do overdose these a little bit. I did these around 20 grams of coffee. I found that worked out pretty good for this. Yeah.
Like you mentioned, that's a 4-hole tip on that one?
Yep. Nice rolling here. And the 4-hole tip is easy to control. Just inject a little air here while the milk is cold. When it starts to heat up, I'll stop with the air. And we'll just get it rolling. Stretch the milk. I like to get to about 140 degrees.
That's just by feel.
Yep.
Is it? We're kind of like where it's almost just getting uncomfortable. Is that?
Yep. I inject a little too much air in the end. You hear the little psst at the end. It's like, whoops. Focus.
But you're not perfect every time. Come on.
That's for sure. Okay, that is not pretty at all, but that's okay. It still tastes good, and you got to see the steam pressure. So
Well, you get another chance over here.
Yep. Well, come back. Try this on the Pro 700. Habit. I just always like to purge a little bit through. Just a couple ounces.
And you got the shot timer on this.
Yep. So we can see how close we are on that one. Just notice the pressure on this one. You have quite a bit more roll on this.
Yeah, a little more pressure, so it's gonna do its thing a little faster.
Yeah. Still easy to control that tip. Stop that at 23 seconds. And you always clean your wand, or you get a mess.
Okay, pressure's on.
Now just don't overflow it. Oh well.
Oh, it's all in there.
It'll work.
Looks beautiful.
Okay, so anyways, let's give a little review of what we got here. Pro 700, great for the connoisseur or the person who wants to take the espresso brewing to the next level, where you can adjust the brew temperature, hook to a water line or to a reservoir, and the rotary pump, which will last for a really, really long time. It's for a commercial pump.
Yep.
Or you can get the Profitec Pro 500 heat exchanger, so you can brew and steam at the same time. You can't adjust the brew temperatures other than maybe through a little what they call
Flushing.
flushing of the group. But very high quality, also very nice looking, all the high quality parts. So I think that's it. Unless you got something you want to add, Mark?
No, beautiful. I mean, I know we really like the 700, right? That's a fine machine.
Yep.
And so's the 500, just a little less money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I'm Todd from Whole Latte Love. Mark behind the camera. Thanks for watching.
Hey, why not subscribe now for easy free access to more videos on everything coffee, brought to you by WholeLatteLove.com.